Hey yo guys, what's up and welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're starting a brand new series on our channel called EP Special, where we're going to cover multiple EPs in one video, and this is episode 1.
So for episode 1 of EP Special, we're going to be taking a look at 3 EPs that have come out in the first half of this year, the first of which being Micro by Jinjer, the second of which being Thy Messenger by Vader, and the last one is Call of the Void by Ingested.
Alright, so starting with Micro from Jinjer, Ukrainian band. These guys are like progressive new metal, death metal. They got a pretty infused sound. TV Fish, what do you think of Micro?
Micro was pretty good. Just the only issue I had with it is that I feel like it might not be super accessible for everybody.
Okay.
I think Jinjer is a band that has an acquired taste because they're so technical and syncopated.
Yeah.
But from this album, if I were to pick a favorite, it would be probably Dreadful Moments, because I feel like it's a good example of how this band has great grooves, but is also very technical, and it goes back and forth and transitions between those moments really well.
That's true, I agree with that. These guys are extremely syncopated. There's so many off beats, off shots, weird time signatures, all that kind of stuff. If you like that, you'll probably love this. The highlight of the album for me was probably Teacher Teacher, which I know a lot of fans will agree with, because when this EP released earlier this year, we had a lot of requests from people to check that song out. Particularly, I like the chorus. I wasn't sure which was actually the chorus, to be honest, because there was two. I felt like there was two choruses, one with the clean vocals, one with the harsh vocals. But whatever. I like the cleans better. I tend to think that the Tatiana's clean vocals are much better than her harshes, and they please me more on their music.
Honestly, I noticed a lot of cleans on this EP just as a whole. There's a lot more than it feels like there normally is for their albums.
I think that's a good thing too. Like I think her cleans are a lot stronger, like I said, and they definitely add a much better element to the music. Another song that I would say is good as well as Ape, the first track. Yeah, just awesome clean vocals again. They got some cool riffing and stuff like that. But overall, the EP is okay for me. As you said, it's not that accessible. I can listen to it, I can jive to it, I can groove to it, but it's a little bit too syncopated for my liking.
Yeah, I can still enjoy it. Like I said, it's an acquired taste. So while I really like it, you know, people who aren't as much of a fan of that kind of music might not like it as much.
True, true. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Thy Messenger by Vader. These guys are from Poland, death metal, classic band. They've been around since probably the early 80s, if not before that. I'll kick this one off. You know, Vader's a band I've been a fan of for a long time, but I'm not that familiar with their stuff. I own a bunch of their albums, but I think I bought them all at once and kind of just put them all, you know, on my iPod at the same time, shuffle them. I don't even know the names of them. What I find from this EP is that it just sounds like typical classic Vader. All the sounds are coming back to me. They use the very similar structures and patterns and all that stuff. These guys are extremely consistent in what they do. And this is just more Vader.
Yeah, honestly, like, I really liked, though, how it's so classic feeling.
Yeah.
But I'd say high point for me is probably the first track, Grand Deceiver, which honestly kind of felt like it had some black metal-esque vibes going on, which I liked. That was really cool.
It did. There's definitely black metal vibes in there. There's a lot of thrashy elements in there. These guys are billed as a death metal band, but I can definitely see a lot of thrash in there. I like that song too, Grand Deceiver. Litany is actually probably my best track. Again, just sounds like typical Vader. You got rad grooves, awesome riffs, and throughout the song it just sounds like he's yelling mean words, which is pretty, cool.
Pretty funny sounding.
Yeah. This EP also has a cover song. It's a Judas Priest cover of Steeler. Vader does a lot of covers. Yeah. They actually have a cover album with a bunch of covers on it, and they do covers on several of their other albums as well. So they like their covers, which is cool. But yeah, Steeler, not my favorite Judas Priest song, but this one's enjoyable to listen to. It's pretty good.
I just find sometimes, like, when bands want to cover Judas Priest, it's really hard to just really replicate Rob Halford's voice.
Yeah.
And to really do that, and it really wasn't exactly happening here, which I don't blame him, because that's his voice is hard to.
Yeah, that's the thing. They replicate the music pretty well, but they don't even try to replicate the voice.
Yeah, no.
That's
really hard.
You ain't gonna cut it. Any more thoughts on Thy Messenger before we move on?
Honestly, it was good, and I feel like it's opposite of Jinjer, at least in general. I feel like this is extremely accessible. You can really give this album to any metalhead. and they'd enjoy it, I would say.
Yeah, you can definitely thrash and bang along to this like pretty easily.
So the third album, or EP, sorry, is Call of the Void by Ingested. Vile, what are your thoughts on that one?
British deathcore. These guys, you know, from what I know about Ingested, they're typically kind of edge on the aspect of slam metal, but this was a lot more melodic than I thought it was going to be. Definitely way more melodic. The highlight track for me was the first track, Mouth of the Abyss. Had an intro very similar to Code of the Slashers from Cannibal Corpse, I found.
It did, yeah.
Very similar type of vibe.
Very similar.
The vocalist has a very good low register range. And what I mean by that is like he's got different layers of growls. Some super low gutturals, some mid-tier growls, some lower growls. Like, you know what I mean, right? There's just different levels there. I don't recall him doing any really high screams or anything like that.
I noticed a little bit. Like, it was varied, I noticed.
Yeah.
That was good.
The songs tend to have a lot of layers to them. And what I mean is like there's a lot of, like the songs aren't that long. They're 4.5, 5 minutes long. But they have a lot of sections and they feel a lot longer than they really are.
Yeah, like honestly, just with how much is going on and how the form kind of works with itself, it feels long. Like the high point for me was Eternal Kingdoms Part 1, which is the second track, which feels long, even though it's not that long. It's because it has all this, you know, light kind of sounding atmospheric stuff. Then it goes hard, and then it goes back and forth between those.
Yeah,
which is really cool, and it honestly kind of feels like more of a big adventure, even though it's like packed into like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and that song, again, it starts off very atmospheric, soft, then it busts into some blast beats and some screams and stuff like that. I wasn't really feeling that song too much. This was one of the parts where it was a lot more melodic than I thought it should be. And then you get into Eternal Kingdom Part 2, and it's basically an extension of Eternal Kingdom Part 1. It's pure instrumental, lasts for 2 minutes or so. Very nice song, very nice musical rendition, but it seemed a little bit pointless to me, even on an EP. It could have just been the outro of the first song, you know, so it is what it is. I thought it was cool, but
it was really pretty sounding. Like, I liked it.
Yeah, it was. And then, you get the last song, the Empyrean Creed, which is basically like the Mouth of the Abyss, but different song with same style.
Yeah.
You know, lots of layers, still much more melodic than I expected, but you still got that cool, you know, slam vibe there, the deathcore elements, you got the breakdowns, dirty breakdowns. So overall, I think Call of the Void is pretty good listen.
Yeah, I can agree.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, at least 50% of it is solid. The rest of it is tolerable, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, all three of these EPs were pretty good. Like, I don't think any of them were lackluster at all.
Yeah, they're not flops by any means, but I don't think any of these EPs really shine out as gems. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. So that's the end of our episode 1 of our EP special. So we want you guys to let us know in the comments below what you guys prefer out of these 3 EPs, which are your favorites, favorite tracks, favorite parts, whatever. Just comment below and talk to us. Tell us what you think. But that's it for this video, so like it, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Later.